Hello, in this session we're going to go through the new account setup process. So the system is designed to enable you to create family groupings, and within a family grouping you can have multiple goals and accounts. So that's a little bit different to the way you might have historically thought about advice, where one client has one account and one strategy. With this approach, you can create multiple strategies based on different goals for the same client or family grouping for that matter. So why don't I go through the process of how we first set up an account. In the advisor module and under clients, you'll come to this screen. So the first part of this is to click this button on the right hand side here called new accounts. Excuse me. And enter the details about the client's name or the account name. Typically, I include information about the particular goal that this relates to. So it might be children's education. And then we can select the tax structure that relates to that particular account. This typically would be a non-super account, so I'm going to select a marginal tax rate that applies to this client. And then I can choose to add this particular account to an existing family grouping. So you can select yes or no here. If you select yes, you'll get a selection of existing accounts to pick from. Because there's a blank database that I'm working on here, there's no existing accounts. So I'm going to select no and set up a brand new family grouping. Let's call this the Jones family. You need to put in an email address. Nothing gets emailed to the clients, but it's important just as an identifier within the system. I'll just call it jjones@gmail.com.au. Contact numbers are not used in any way, so it's up to you whether you put one in. And this client access button, please ensure that's ticked. It doesn't do anything, but it'll make life easier down the track if you decide you want to give access to a client to their particular dashboard. And as I said, simply click OK, and it'll take you to the client details page. And it's based in 4 quadrants here. I'll start with the left-hand quadrant. So the left-hand quadrant is some personal information. Some of it's already pre-populated from what you just filled in. You can see there's a field here called Change Client. This enables you to move an account from one family grouping to a different family grouping. You might have entered it in the wrong family grouping, or for whatever reason you want to segregate accounts that were in a particular group. You can do that, and you can move accounts between groupings. There's that client access button that I mentioned before. Just leave that ticked. It doesn't do anything, but it enables easy access for clients if you choose to give it down the track. On the top right hand quadrant here, you've got information about the actual account. So as we've already entered, it's a children's education goal. It's a 30% tax structure applied to that goal, which means all the projections and information presented in the next set of pages will be adjusted for the relevant tax rate. You can select the platform in which you wish to implement this particular client. This is relevant if you've got different solutions on different platforms. Obviously, the system wants to present the right set of portfolios for you to choose from, depending on the platform. So let's just select that one. And you can also enter in an account number for the client. This is relevant if we have an integration with that particular platform, so that we can automatically update the client's account and investment details. If we don't have an integration with that particular platform, you've got to manually update the client's investment information. Bottom left-hand quadrant here is current details. So this just gives you can enter some information about the specific client. So this might be Jane Jones, who this particular account is relevant to, or it might be Jane and John actually, because it's a joint account for their children. You need to enter a date of birth. This is relevant for the goals. So just select the date of birth of one of the members of the goal relates to. I'll just select that. You can enter in a regular contribution. There's other areas you can do that later on, but here, if you already know what the regular contribution is, you can add that in as well. So I'll just put $10,000 per year. You can select a risk profile. So the risk profile is something that's stored in the system. The system doesn't necessarily use this, but it's able for you. You're able to store a particular risk profile if you've already determined what that client's risk profile is. If you don't enter the information here on a risk profile, the system will do one based on information that's collated on that client, and then it'll store that against that client's record. I'll select medium for this client. Now, the important thing on the bottom right-hand quadrant is the objective. So this obviously relates to whatever this account has been set up for. So this one's a children's education. So for children's education, typically it would be an income goal because you're trying to create a certain level of income to fund the education costs every year. So you can obviously, the advisor can have a discussion with the client about how much income they do need, and it might be $30,000 per year for a starting in say 10 years time and lasting for 15 years. And that's as simple as that is to set up. There's other goals here, but they don't relate to a children's education. I'll just show you what they are. For a savings goal, you can create a target amount and a target year in which you wish to achieve that saving. Or for a retirement goal, you can set a retirement age, the amount of income you wish to derive from their portfolio once they're in retirement, and how long you want that income to last for, i.e. their life expectancy. But let's come back to income goal and save that. It's important to remember to click save. Once you do click save for that information, you get another button that appears, which will take you to the portfolio summary page. Now that's another video, so I'll leave that for then. But in essence, we've now finished the account setup video. Thank you.